Welcome everybody to the Sunset Flip Wrestling Podcast, your home for all wrestling, everything wrestling. What's up, fellas? What's up, Soto? Welcome back.
What's up, guys?
You know what I'm saying? Yo, where's my Canepa?
Sorry, I couldn't bring that.
Where's my Manudo?
TSA is on some strict shit.
Yes.
How do you want the salchipapa and the chuchi frito so you didn't bring it for him? See what I'm saying? Like, Happy's upset. I'm upset with no Canepa. But we got you back, so I guess we'll take that as a consolation prize, right?
You can't take anything. You can't take anything out of anywhere anymore. Let's be honest.
Terrible.
They want you to take shit.
Vacation was good. Everything was good.
Oh man, vacation was everything. Even though I wasn't in the States, I still kept in touch with my wrestling. And yeah, man, it was a whole vibe, man. A whole vibe out there, and good to be back.
Good. Glad you're back. Now the boys are back in town. We're all ready to go. But so what I should have said first was bonjour, everybody, because let's get right into it. Backlash in France. I kind of like this overseas kind of thing. Kind of like you having 9 major PLEs, pay-per-views per se, or in across the water in different countries.
They teased
making big name situations.
They teased possibly getting the WrestleMania down the line. They also teased France coming back to France in a big stadium.
Oh yeah, that holds 81,000, right? Yeah, no. Let's start with that first. You got to give
shout out to Triple H for that. He's going to try to break.
No, shout out to that France crowd, man. Like honestly, maybe I was a little biased, but I always had Puerto Rico crowd number 1. But after what we saw yesterday, I think Puerto Rico's now number 2. Yeah, Puerto Rico's number 2. Yeah, that French crowd was just something else. Never have I seen during Cody Rhodes' entrance that they're continuing singing his theme song after it shut off. I mean, yeah, we've seen it with Jericho and AEW, but just how loud it was, right?
That's crazy.
Then Jay Uso's entrance, right, with all the lights and stuff like that, that was just simply amazing. Something that I don't think I've ever seen. And just the whole crowd was just engaged throughout the whole night.
Yeah,
the whole night. It was crazy. They were loud. Man. They were loud.
It was
singing all the songs was great too. Let's also talk about that. The theme song is just.
It was definitely a rowdy crowd, nonetheless, altogether. But let's get right into it.
We'll start with the opener. The Bloodline defeating Kevin Owens and Randy Orton.
You mean RK Owens? No. To the new duo that was probably short-lived, I guess.
Yeah, no. It makes sense though. But it makes sense. Obviously, it's like the enemy of my enemy is my friend kind of thing. In a weird way. But this match, just when we thought it was a regular tag team match, before the bell rings, they all get into a brawl, and then it's changed into a street fight. Which once it was announced that a street fight was going to happen, I was like, it's only a matter of time till somebody interferes.
And we got just that.
Yeah. And we got that's exactly what we got, during the closing moments of the match where, Kevin Owens hits Tongaloa. Well, not Tongaloa. Tonga. Yeah, I get the names confused.
Right.
With that, it kind of looked like a brain buster on the chairs, right? On the set of chairs. Just when you thought that it was over, the ref gets pulled, and then. I think a lot of people.
The ref gets pulled, right?
Yeah, I don't know, right?
Of course.
Anybody caught that ref getting pulled? That the ref sort of knocked himself out the ring because Tagaloa missed his spot a little bit.
Yeah, he missed his spot.
He has to fish swim out the ring.
He was a tad late. But yeah, that Owens avalanche brain buster on the chairs, that shit was deadly. And then just when you think you were gonna get the 1, 2, 3, ref gets pulled, and I think at this spot right here, everybody assumed it was going to be Jacob Fatu. And I think everybody completely forgot about Tongaloa. So Tongaloa makes his WWE debut. WWE now has the Gorillas of Destiny, God, in the Bloodline. What are your reactions? I personally loved it because it was a major swerve. I think like I said, everybody expected Jacob, but then we got Tangaloa to further extend this Bloodline storyline.
All I'm gonna say is God versus the Usos incoming.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I am waiting on the other part of the Samoan dynasty to come over. I'm waiting for. It's a matter of time before we get to Survivor Series, and it's not even the Bloodline. It's the entire fucking Samoan legacy. Every indie, every mainstream, and they're all gonna pull up and just all right. You guys against the rest of us, like us versus all of you guys, the entire locker room at this rate.
Trial by combat.
It's gonna be reckless. He's adding more and more.
I don't know if it'll be a traditional 4v4. I think we might get a 5v5.
I think we might get 6.
I'm actually gonna go one up on the 5v5. I think you have an interesting situation where you have the new Bloodline, right? So you have God and you have Solo, right?
Yes.
And then Jacob Fatu is on his way. We're probably going to get him maybe at SummerSlam, right? Or maybe sooner than that.
Right.
But I feel like everybody's just focused on the men and not the women. Remember, Nia Jax was drafted to SmackDown. You can easily plug her into that new Bloodline. Now, with Solo turning on Jimmy, the numbers game is going to catch up to Jimmy. You bring in Nia, you want to find some sort of neutralizer, you plug in Naomi.
Yeah.
And that's how you have this.
There's a lot in play going forward. Just
there's a lot of members here. There's a lot of Bloodline members.
Well,
because
think about it. We already know who potentially would be on the 2.0 Bloodline. Let's call it new Bloodline versus old Bloodline, 1.0 versus 2.0, whatever we want to call it.
Right.
Whatever they're gonna go. The new one would be Solo, obviously God, possibly Zila. That would be another name that's rumored for a while. And then you got Jacob, and we don't know what side Jacob technically will go to. That's also the other.
And then there's the other brother from New Japan, Hikuleo. I mean, it's rumored.
Waiting.
Yeah, he's rumored to be a free agent around June, and he also had he was also paying attention to this match because
welcome to WWE. Come in June. Welcome to WWE. That's all I got to say.
When Tangaloa made his debut and everything went down, he also tweeted Hikuleo with the eyes emoji. So he's paying attention. He knows what's up. And again, it's rumored that he's a free agent in around June, and you can also plug him into this storyline. Just to further, expand this storyline. It kind of seems like never ending, but I'm loving where all these like pieces are, filling in and whatnot. I think the big arrival, obviously, would be Jacob Fatu and Roman Reigns, return. Yeah. But yeah, this is a storyline that I have, it hasn't missed a beat. I'm loving everything that's been happening right now.
Me too.
Let's see what happens. First and foremost, this was the easy W going ahead with the match. Secondly, you're going to see more growth. This is just a stepping stone for the Bloodline. Kevin Owens and Orton are going to probably fall back, go back into regular singles matchups for a while. There's no need for them to be a tag team. It was just a one-time thing. I think it's a one-time thing.
Well, who knows? Because now that I think the thing with Kevin Owens and Randy Orton, like their business with the Bloodline are not finished because of Tangaloa's involvement, right? I think we could be seeing a 3-on-3 or 4-on-4 on SummerSlam, right? Where you can have the new Bloodline, right? Which is Solo, God, and whoever that fourth member is, right? Let's say Jacob at this point, against Kevin Owens, Randy Orton, and the Usos, right? Because I think at some point from here to SummerSlam, we're going to see Jay and Jimmy reunited on the same page.
Mm-hmm.
In due time. I think when someone has to swallow their pride. If it's Jay, if it's Jimmy, maybe Jimmy comes back for the say like fuck it, like I'm not gonna. There's no point in fighting no more after Jay goes over at Mania. So it's like, does Jay be like Jay come back and see y'all, bro? Like let's let bygones be bygones. We had our 101 already. It's over. There's no need to have another one. Let's just team back up again. So it's a matter of time to see what plans out. But so far, you see a lot of layers and groundwork being set up for almost anything.
Yeah, and this match itself, to me, it was fantastic to open up. You had to open up with a banger, and really, this match did not miss. And just when you thought, like at WrestleMania, with the whole
shout out to Carmella for the Carmella reference, by the way.
Just when you thought that the Bloodline storyline would just end at WrestleMania with Roman Reigns being defeated, it seems like this new story of the Bloodline has taken place, right? And now, I feel like this is all going to set up for Roman Reigns return. This is, I think, Roman Reigns' new story, right? And I can't wait. I can't wait for his return. This is gonna be epic. This is gonna be an epic storyline that they can legit stretch out.
Does he get a new theme, or does he keep his theme?
I think he keeps it.
I think he keeps it. I think I really hope he doesn't go back. This theme is just too goated already. It's like,
yes, it is.
You can't go back to the old one. I mean, maybe further down the line in a couple of years, maybe if you want to, do that again.
If you go solo again, then yes.
Yeah. But we'll talk about the Bloodline in just a couple minutes because something interesting did happen backstage. The next match on the card was the triple threat match for the WWE Women's Championship, in which Bayley defeated Naomi and Tiffany Stratton to retain.
So the two, first and foremost, shout out to Bayley. The two most important things out of this, Naomi has grown to be so over amongst the fans. She clearly had the loudest pop out of all three of the women coming into this match. The crowd went nuts for her. And then secondly, Bayley's got to be on her P's and Q's because Tiffany Stratton is on her way.
Yeah.
And that's probably the more, actually, no, that's probably more important. That's probably bigger than anything. Naomi being back in WWE is great, but Tiffany Stratton is, if she's not ready now, she's gonna be tomorrow, and tomorrow could be like a week, a month from now when she gets her first actual singles push for a title.
I think she's gonna get
titles run. She's ready.
I think for somebody who's just called up, she's ready. She's super ready, and the only reason why Naomi was inserted into this triple threat match, this is just my opinion, was to take the pinfall. Right, you kind of want to protect the up and coming superstar in Tiffany Stratton, right? Mm-hmm. And I think Tiffany's performance in this match was phenomenal, right? And what you do to protect Tiffany Stratton is not let her take the pinfall, right? And not only that, with Money in the Bank in the future, I think you're looking at the future Mrs. Money in the Bank in Tiffany Stratton.
Yeah, I think that's more of a lock than anything, to be honest.
Yeah, I think she has to be the the odds-on favorite. And with Bayley now picking up this pinfall, this victory, it's interesting to see who her next opponent is. It's probably maybe Nia Jax. And with Naomi, I'm not sure what they're gonna do with Naomi after this defeat. I hope she doesn't get lost in the card, but I really don't see where Naomi goes on from here.
Unless she does what we said and goes into the Bloodline storyline, that would be something for her to do.
Yeah, I mean, that would be very exciting for Naomi if she was somehow incorporated into this Bloodline storyline.
But that would need Nia Jax to be inserted too, so that's also
exactly. And it makes a lot of sense. I mean, like I mentioned before, a lot of people are talking about the men's, the male individuals in this storyline, and we're not thinking about potential female individuals. And again, with Nia Jax being drafted to SmackDown, it makes a lot of sense.
So I remember a while ago, so just to bring up some old history, we did a podcast at the beginning of the year where we said that who do we think would win gold sometime in 2024. I know I got one right so far, and I believe you did too. So I think actually all three of us got one so far, but I think we didn't do like a big time champion. I did think both of us thought that Tiffany Stratton would be a champ in 2024, and obviously with the rumored SmackDown Raw trades that happened, some of them, one was major and the other one was like minor. I could see a Tiffany Stratton moving to Raw and competing for the Women's Championship on Raw against Becky at some point, and maybe even at some point a returning Rhea Ripley, which would be basically what do you want to think about
that? Depends on who comes back first. Rhea's gone. I don't think it's legit injury. I think she's out because she worked for so long for time off. She's probably rehabbing some minor.
No, she has a legit injury. No, it's a legit
out. Like that's not story.
No, it's real. She's out for quite a bit. So not like the whole year, but she's out for quite a bit of months. It would have been. It's not like a situation where she could defend it if they needed her to. She wouldn't be able to defend it. Like Roman, if they needed him to come in to defend it, it's like not a situation like that.
Right.
Yeah, I know Charlotte's out again. Her and Seth Rollins probably have the same parallel in careers. Each one of the better wrestlers on the roster, if not the best on the roster, pound for pound, but they're always hurt. There's always something wrong with Charlotte. Always something wrong with Seth. So it's like when she comes back, she'll probably get the belt again, which I'm not a fan of, but she's gonna get it anyways. But the
only reason I say I could see Tiffany
moving to Raw.
The only reason I could say Tiffany moving to Raw is just because her real life boyfriends on Raw, and they tend to try to keep couples together.
Could be.
And just for storyline purposes, if you move Jey Uso to SmackDown, obviously you're continuing that story. So there's that too.
Yeah, I think. Listen, I think down the line we can see some sort of trade, right? Where where Jey Uso forcefully or demands a trade in order to help his brother.
I see that. I see like I'm going
right, and in that package you could probably include Tiffany Stratton, but yeah, I think going forward, I think we're seeing a future champion in Tiffany Stratton. It's just not only her looks, her in-ring skills. Her I love everything about that match. From her attempt to hitting the BME to Naomi and Bayley rolling out and hitting their own version of a 3D, which was pretty cool. And yeah, we'll see who Bayley's next challenger is. Maybe I think it's Nia Jax. We'll see what happens with Naomi, because right now it's like I'm not sure where Naomi goes on from here. And then in regards to Tiffany Stratton, it's like you continue to build Tiffany Stratton until Money in the Bank, which I think she's going to retrieve it. I think she's the next Miss Money in the Bank.
Yeah, I agree.
So then we have an interesting backstage segment in which I said we would go back to this bloodline conversation, and you had Solo Sikoa and the new bloodline GOD face to face with Jey Uso. And it's interesting because, again, it's just seeds being planted, right? I think we're going to get GOD versus the Usos at some point.
That's gonna be fucking cinema too.
Right, it is, and I think what was more important was the face to face between Jey Uso and Paul Heyman.
Yes, I was going to point that out. Yes.
And Paul Heyman has been tremendous because he deserves an Oscar because his facial reactions to everything, they're just money. So
A1.
When he looks to Jey Uso, it was like a plea of help. He is screaming for help because he knows he cannot control this new bloodline. What are your thoughts on this?
I mean, he can't. Let's be honest. He's like what Solo did when he tried to call Roman Reigns. Basically took his phone and stomped on it. So, I mean, Solo's out of control. I mean, I think the only person that really could control Solo, crazy to say, is The Rock. And at some point, we know The Rock is coming back. He already said it. And he has unfinished business. We already know the main event for Mania 41 in Las Vegas, which was announced as well. We know that's going to be Rock and Roman. But the story between now and then is going to be absolutely amazing. Like, I just can't wait for it. Like, that Paul Heyman storytelling, his facial expressions, everything. You know, Jey Uso is going to help somehow, which might help to facilitate the trade. He might say, hey, let me get traded back to SmackDown to help Paul out.
The day we lose Paul Heyman as an in-ring talent or managerial talent, when he finally retires from the game, it's gonna be a sad day. It's gonna be a sad day for me, especially that's my guy, right? You're looking at the new manager for a main event, Jey Uso. As soon as and when shit hits the fan, and you're gonna see Paul go, yo, Jay, I'm with you, man. Let's go. Let's get up out of here. I can't do this no more. And you're gonna see. My guess is that you can see The Rock come back and just yo, Paul, get the fuck out the way, man. Like, I got this. I'm running shit with Solo. And Roman comes in, then you'll see the interaction. Then it's gonna set up the main event for Mania. But Heyman's gonna be like, yo, man, I don't want to do this shit no more. Yo, Jay, I'm with you. And he's gonna go ahead and just have a good old time with Jay and manage him.
I just hope, like, when it comes to Paul Heyman, right? It's like he's lost all input. He's basically lost everything because there's no Roman Reigns. He has, again, no input in decisions going forward as the wise man because all decisions are going through Solo, right? And it's funny because it's like, I hope Roman Reigns' words don't come biting him because Roman did say that the next heir was going to be Solo. But I think this is all a way to frame Roman Reigns because, everything that the new bloodline is doing, they keep saying, oh yeah, these are from orders, from the tribal chief, right? We know that Roman is not the one making the shots right now because Roman and Paul Heyman, they haven't talked, right, since WrestleMania. All of these decisions that the new bloodlines are that are doing and executing, they're either coming from Solo himself or they're coming from The Rock, right? The Rock was probably disappointed that Roman Reigns lost at WrestleMania. We haven't seen him since. So then The Rock appoints Solo as the tribal chief for the time being. There's a situation like that. Like the possibilities for this storyline is just endless. Because in the upcoming months, we're just going to see new feuds. We're going to see reunions. We're going to see, new players into this feud. It's going to be epic.
I'm all for it.
SummerSlam's going to be real. Let's go.
Yeah, SummerSlam, I'm to be honest with you, I'm more looking forward to Survivor Series because I do want to see that new bloodline versus the old bloodline, right? And I'm going to continue saying this, and I might be wrong.
Can we get Regal come out and say War Games? Please?
I think so. I think so.
On the cell
with the new bloodline, I feel like Roman Reigns will reunite with the Usos. I think it would be that much better. Yes, he's not blood, but if you have Sami Zayn reunite with Roman Reigns, I think
how poetic.
It would just, and then another situation where like it could be mind blowing that nobody would expect is the fact that the new bloodline will outman the old one, right? And with Roman Reigns and the Usos looking for help, the new bloodline is going to be run by The Rock, right? And The Rock always said that he was going to come back for Cody Rhodes. What if at some point Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns team up?
Could happen.
It could happen.
You know what else would be interesting too? If down the line we get the bloodline, like let's say we get Zila and whoever else to join, right? Wouldn't it be sort of interesting if Zila defected to Roman Reigns' side because of the comparisons of Solo being compared to Umaga? He gets pissed at him. There's so many possibilities. When you think about it, it's insane to really think which direction they go.
Yeah. Let's move on to the World Heavyweight Championship match in which Damian Priest defeated Jey Uso to retain. Fun match, but
Jay has to take another loss in a main event match, so it kind of like hurts him a bit. Right. It doesn't really, because it's still a great match nonetheless. Jay put out a show. But Damian Priest is not losing the belt for a while.
He ain't that ain't hurting, bro. You heard that crowd for him? Shit.
How many losses can you take in a main event match for us? Like,
it don't matter. He's over. There's LA Knight lost a lot of main event matches, and he's still hella over.
LA Knight is nowhere near Jey Uso.
Yeah, but I'm talking in terms of losing at matches and big events and stuff like that. LA Knight's got one big win so far. Jay's gonna get his, especially since the beginning of Jay's run. If you think about it, Cody Rhodes had to go through a year of losing and all this other shit and winning some matches.
Neither LA Knight nor Jey Uso could be close to Cody Rhodes.
No, but in terms of wrestling history and wrestling trends, if you're looking at it, it's sort of they're going to make Jay go through the trials and tribulations of losing the big matches but getting that big win at some point. So I see Jay getting in the main event scene? Absolutely. As over as he was in France and that intro and everybody singing his song, and it was insane.
I hate to
be at some point. I don't see why not.
I hate to burst your bubble, but with Jey Uso as over as he is, I don't see him winning a singles championship, whether it's the world heavyweight, whether it's the IC.
I would see him getting a mid card title first.
I think that opportunity. I'm not going to say it's over, but I think it's put on pause because of this new bloodline storyline.
Right.
Because I feel like what's going to happen with Jey Uso is he's going to reunite with Jimmy, and then boom, back to the tag team division, right? But
maybe
there was
unless it's a situation like the New Day where they still wrestle as a tag team, but they do individuals. So
yeah. But I'm not gonna lie, there was some spots in the match where I was like, is Jey Uso actually gonna win the title? Because it kind of looked like it, but no, Damian Priest still retains. We had involvement from both members of the Judgment Day, JD McDonough and Finn Balor. But I think the aftermath is what a lot of people are talking about. Right.
Priest is leaving.
Who?
Or Priest is getting booted.
Yeah. Priest is 100%.
I'll reiterate that. Priest is out. Yeah. Priest is leaving. Priest leaves, and they're gonna just throw him out.
He's gonna get booted when he loses the title. They're gonna act like what's gonna happen is I can already see it. It's basically an evolution type thing. When instead of him winning the title, it's him losing the title. They're gonna act like they're gonna embrace him that he lost this, and then they're gonna kick him out, and that's gonna be that.
Yeah,
and the person who's gonna do it, everybody thinks is gonna be Finn. It ain't gonna be Finn. It's gonna be Dominic Mysterio to further solidify him as an asshole heel that he is. That he's doing a great job in.
See, that's the thing.
I think it's JD.
I don't know. I think it's Finn. I think it's Finn because I feel like the matchup is Finn Balor versus Damian Priest, right? And
I'm talking about the person that's going to do the attack to knock him out of the Judgment Day is going to be Dominic Mysterio.
I don't know. I think the one who attacks him first. No, I think I'm going to go with JD. I think JD's going to attack him by orders of Finn Balor. But when it comes to Dominic Mysterio has his own separate storyline, right? That they're building with Liv Morgan.
Yeah.
So I think that's where he kind of drifts away from the Judgment Day, right? Because that's going to be like the love triangle kind of thing between him, Liv Morgan, and a returning Rhea Ripley. When it comes to Finn Balor, I just hope that this leads to the return of Demon Balor.
Well, they've been clamoring that for years.
Yeah, but I feel like Priest is on his way to be a babyface. We saw the post-match beatdown in which JD and Finn Balor tried to attack Jey Uso, and Damian Priest wanted none of it, shoving both of them. I mean, even holding Finn by the neck, right? Mm-hmm. So that the split is coming. It's just a matter of when. You
gotta love it. They're going back to old things that they used to do. I think we could officially say PG is officially dead in wrestling.
Yeah. Who takes the title away from Finn? I mean, excuse Priest. Me, away from Priest.
Drew McIntyre.
Yeah.
No doubt in my mind. Drew McIntyre for the reason why, because what him and CM Punk are building is going to lead to them to have a match
at SummerSlam. Yeah, I like that.
I was gonna say.
What were you gonna say? R-Truth?
No. Oh my god! I wish.
Shout out to R-Truth.
You know what?
The funniest dude on wrestling right now.
I don't care about because that there itself will create absolute chaos, and it's chaos for the good, not for the worse.
Right.
For whatever reason, let Drew get involved, get a Priest Truth Drew triple threat match. CM Punk ruins it for Drew McIntyre. R-Truth wins it, and now you have a fucking collision course for SummerSlam with Punk and Drew. You don't need a belt. Between those two, you don't need a belt.
Or you could do it at it also depends. It also depends who's going to win the men's Money in the Bank. That's the other thing. Because let's be honest, I think I already know who's going to win the men's Money in the Bank without even having to hesitate. I'm going to just say Gunther.
Well, here's the thing with Gunther. I feel like Gunther's going
to beat him, but R-Truth beats Drew, and then Gunther takes the belt from Truth, and it's like, all right.
I don't know. I just feel like Gunther's going to win the King of the Ring.
Well, yeah, but yeah.
And you know who's also in the King of the Ring tournament? Ilya Dragunov.
Oh man, listen, I'm going to say this. I know this is we're talking about this. Tomorrow's matches are going to cook on Raw.
Oh yeah.
All I'm saying, Monday Night Raw. For those who when you listen to this podcast, catch Monday Night Raw tomorrow because those matches are.
Yeah, Dragunov versus Ricochet.
And those matches are going to fucking slap.
And then Gunther versus Sheamus.
Ooh.
That's gonna be a battle. The damn Ricochet go take a walk this early. It's fucking bullshit again.
I don't know. I think Ricochet's gonna put a battle because the way they've been pushing Ricochet,
it does not matter because everybody sees the writing on the wall is gonna be Dragunov versus Gunther.
Wait, time out. Are Dragunov and Gunther in the same bracket?
No.
Finals, baby.
That's it. It's over. I saw Ricochet and the runner-up. I'm like, it's over.
We gonna get
Ricochet gets fucked again.
No, that's fine. He has that little speed championship for the time being.
That's
and he's happy with that though.
Yeah, no, but
it's Priest is gonna lose it to McIntyre. That's
Priest is gonna lose it to R-Truth, and it's gonna be Drew McIntyre's chance to win it, and Punk's gonna fuck him over.
Nah, I don't think they're gonna do that again. I think R-Truth and Miz are gonna focus on the tag team and
it's so fitting. Oh my god,
tag team wrestling is back. Let's just say
that. I think real quick before we get to the next match, I think when it comes to and I know this is like out of topic, but when it comes to the tag team championships, right, which is R-Truth, Awesome Truth, right?
Yep.
I think they're gonna eventually lose those titles to the Creed brothers.
Heel Creed brothers.
Heel Creed brothers.
The DIY.
No, because DIY got drafted to SmackDown, so I feel like DIY
trade them up.
I feel like DIY has a better chance now to become tag champs against what is it?
A-Town
Down, whatever.
A-Town Down Under.
A-Town Down Under. Yeah. Yeah.
They're gonna
bums.
They're pushing the international scene.
And then now with the Creed brothers being heels under Chad Gable. That's something that you're recreating Team Angle.
Can we just say that Chad Gable is finally getting his
flowers? Yes.
Yeah.
Right. Give him his flowers.
Chad
Gable is nice.
And I will say this: I know Alpha Academy is probably going to be done unless somebody comes back and sort of manages them and sort of that glue that they need. Because obviously Gable's not going to want to do anything with Alpha Academy no more after this. They all have a ton of potential. So that means Maxine, Otis, and Tozawa. So I mean, we'll see what's going to happen with them too. Because remember, they're a big part of everything too. Maxine's been getting a push, obviously, and Otis has always been very underrated, and Tozawa too. So there's a lot going on. They're gonna be cooking.
Yeah. Moving on to the next match, Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill defeating the Kabuki Warriors to win the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions.
Obvious result of the night. Obvious result. I think we could all agree that we knew this was going to happen, just for the fact that Bianca and Jade could appear on any brand.
Yeah. I know, like there was a little bit of like criticism with the way I think Jade has been handled in WWE in some sort, right? Because it's like, they thought Jade is going to be like a single star superstar, right? But I feel like this is the best route, just kind of like, have her team with Bianca, right? Later on, there's going to be some sort of turn, whether it's Bianca or whether it's Jade, right? But
you want that Jade Bianca match. That was the whole purpose the entire way through.
I don't think, and everybody thinks it's going to be obvious that Jade would be the one to turn heel. I don't think it would be Jade. I think it would be Bianca. And we know Bianca can play a heel because she's done it before in NXT.
Right.
So
right.
I think it would be interesting if Bianca turned heel, because remember, there is still that rumor that eventually they are going to turn the Street Profits, aka the Pride, heel at some point. So right now they just sort of just left it alone because they had the reaction of faces. But what better way would be to turn them heel and then turn Bianca heel?
Yeah. But the match itself, it was solid. I know at some point in the match there was like some confusion about who the legal woman in the match was, which kind of left to some it was kind of shaky. But I think the ending sequence of the match was pretty fire. The way Jade had what's her name? Kairi Sane, right, into a powerbomb, kind of flipped her into the Jaded, and then they finish off.
It reminded me like a lucha move, but not like a lucha move.
But just the pure strength and concentration to pull that off. And then again, Jade, her entrance, her aura, is at an all-time high.
That's why I don't see her going heel at all. And if she, whenever she goes down the line of singles run, I don't see her going heel. You can't.
The best part about this situation, you kind of focus more on the tag team, division, the women's tag team. Like these are like series champs. These are not, a tag team you just place the titles on. No, these are two of the top women in the industry becoming a tag team, right? And at some point, the beauty of this is that one of them is going to betray the other one eventually. That's our opinion here. But the fact that you both of them can play heels really, really well. So you you could flip flop, you could coin flip.
You know who this reminds me of? Really, if it's sort of like picturesque, but they're basically like 1 and 2 in the women's. You got Bianca and you got Jade, and then back in the day you had Hulk Hogan and Macho Man as a tag team, and they were the top 2 guys in the division. And then we know who turned out who, obviously. So it's going to go down that route. It's history's proven stuff. You get 2 of the top wrestlers, and they want to be, in a tag team. Eventually, one of them's going to turn to the other. So it's cinema, man. It's great.
Yeah. I love that comparison because it's like, all right, first of all, we're not comparing them to these male superstars, but you had those 2 single stars, right? 2 of the top single stars pairing together to become a tag team. It was like when Shawn Michaels and John Cena, right? They're known for being single stars, but they had a run as a tag team, right? DX, Triple H and Shawn Michaels. You would have never imagined them becoming tag team champions.
The Rock and Sock connection.
There you go. So we're not comparing that, but we're just comparing like the situation that.
Not forget also Team Hell No. There's so many, man. Let's go on. I mean, we're comparing more the situation. Top stars teaming up and sort of betraying each other at some point. So
I wonder. To me, I wonder
power trip. So that's all that matters to me.
Yeah,
it's gonna be interesting though, and it's good for honestly for both Bianca and Jade because now they get to appear on any brand they want, and that's gonna be good for WWE when they move CW to CW in the fall, NXT. And
it's good for women in general.
Netflix.
That's probably the number one thing. It doesn't matter the company, the brand. It's 2 women who have a chance to now take over the entire company without overstepping themselves and having fun. And the best part is they're friends.
Yeah,
and they know each other out there. They're cool outside of wrestling.
And not only that, also it's going to be quite a bit of lengthy reign. That means there's going to be more focus on the women's tag team division, which obviously was Naomi and Sasha Banks' number one reason for leaving WWE in the first place. We know one came back and the other's in AEW. And that's a good thing to see. So a lot of those bridges that were burned, like we always say in wrestling, can be repaired. So obviously seeing that, we'll repair those kind of bridges too. So
shout out to the women of wrestling.
Yep. And then we have the main event, which in my opinion was probably the match of the night. Cody Rhodes defeating AJ Styles to retain.
See, Henry, I told you. I don't know why you thought AJ Styles was going to win this.
I didn't think AJ was going to win. I had no doubt in my mind Cody retained. Even though there's no direction for Cody right now, we knew Cody wasn't.
I think this was probably the easiest one to predict because there was no way Cody Rhodes was going to lose in his first title defense.
I mean, that would be a hell of a swerve if he did, but no, they weren't going to do it. But it's not good storytelling anymore, but that kind of stuff. But yeah, they put on a great match though. That was one of the premier matches, honestly. Just top to bottom, everything.
Yeah. No, and Cody, you have
And shout out to Michael Cole for referencing the Bullet Club too.
Yeah. You have an experienced veteran.
Stardust.
Yep.
You have an experienced veteran in Styles who's like what 45, 46 years old, still doing the springboard 450, right? And then also selling, the moves by Cody, who, I love when he does the Cody cutter.
What the Stardust routine?
But I feel like
Cody cutter.
I feel like AJ Styles could work with anybody. Like I have no wrestling experience. And I could probably do a match with AJ Styles, and he'll make me look like a superstar. That's how good AJ Styles is.
Versatile wrestler.
I agree.
Yeah, no, but so Cody retains. Yeah, Cody retains against AJ Styles. Where does Cody Rhodes go from here?
Next guy on the roster, pick and choose. Until you find a storyline for him, you're just going to keep on going against competitors over and over until you build something. So, who else do you think he should be up for a match? Whether it's Jey Uso, whether it's
it has to be somebody from the SmackDown roster because right now, remember Cody Rhodes is now on SmackDown.
So,
yeah,
who do you guys feel on SmackDown deserving of a?
I'm trying to think right now, but.
First person comes to mind is your next match.
See. So let's think of who SmackDown has right now. So he's not going to feud with AJ. Randy Orton, Kevin Owens, but those are faces. You're not going to really do a face versus face. It got to be more of a heel. So who are we talking as a heel on SmackDown right now?
Who knows? They could probably run it back.
You can run it back. That's fine.
You can run it back with AJ.
You can run it back with AJ.
It's star power versus star power. It doesn't matter if it's face or heel. You can just go at it.
I mean, realistically, who we got? We got Shinsuke. Again, you can run it back. Right? Who else we got? You got Solo. Let's not discount Solo in the Bloodline. Let's not forget about that.
So you're gonna put Cody into that Bloodline storyline.
He's never been out of the storyline, really.
Well, you're gonna kick it back up again. Now you put him involved now, so you start. So
as much as I would want it, but there's Carmelo Hayes, but he's already faced Carmelo Hayes.
You can also go the route of whenever he loses the U.S. title, Logan Paul.
Yeah.
Or Logan Paul can keep it. You can just go, and try and I'm gonna combine titles.
I mean, there's
so many as well. Like it's pick your poison. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
We'll see, you never know.
So, before we get into the very last topic, so there was an announcement, right, that WrestleMania 41 is coming to Vegas.
Yep. So before it was supposed to be Minnesota. I'm not sure what happened, but obviously
it's not Vegas.
I think it's the cold weather. I think
April. April 19th and April 20th, 2025 will be in Vegas. So that should be pretty good.
Allegiant Stadium needs their big time things. This is a brand new stadium. I mean, Minnesota has the dome now, but still, right? You can go ahead and just put that up.
They'll probably give WrestleMania 42 to Minnesota.
Probably, yeah. It's options. There's so many ideas you can pick and choose for it. It's just
if you do it. But the thing is, if you're gonna do it in a place like that's cold in the winter time, because a lot of times like winter springish when it comes there, you got to do it in a place that's domed because you can't like in Philly. It's very cold. Yeah, Philly didn't, so it was cold as hell.
We know WrestleManias are going to be in the States now. In regards to PLEs, that shit is a global takeover.
Yeah,
international takeover.
It's global. It's global.
Let's say I want to say I actually really think so though. I hope we get a WrestleMania back in United Kingdom again. Like back in the day, I forget which WrestleMania it was, but they had one in the United Kingdom a while ago. So that would be a good one to do. So, but my thing is, I had one more point to say about the AJ Styles thing as well. He could be involved in another feud. So you are right. So it could be running it back with AJ. it could be 2 out of 3. But I do think AJ is going to circle back to the OC at some point. I don't know if he keeps his heel turn full time, but we'll see.
He's good as a heel. He's good as a face. It does not for AJ Styles. It does not matter. He's the most versatile wrestler on the roster. You put him anywhere. You put him as a mid card. You put him as an opener. You put him as a main event. You put him in whatever belt you want to put it at, whatever you want to define or describe.
Mm-hmm.
It's there. It's automatic. There's no bad situation for AJ Styles. No, the first time we've seen him how long in the main event scene?
For a long time.
Yeah, and he was just as good then as you just as good now as he was back then. You know what I mean? So it doesn't really matter per se for whatever it is.
Yeah.
Even same thing. Randy Orton, you can put him anywhere. It'll still be a banger match. Face, heel, face, heel, face. It doesn't matter. So it just how long are you going to hold out before you put Cody back into the Bloodline feud and actually pick up that situation again, where Solo actually gets involved, and now you have Cody and the Bloodline going on.
It's bound to happen. Cody Rhodes is going to get sucked into that Bloodline storyline again.
Yeah, yes. So it's just a matter of time. If you do Solo now, that means you're gonna have to get 8 months of Cody versus.
But you know, with The Rock saying that he'll be back for Cody Rhodes, right? I think if The Rock captures the WWE Undisputed Championship, I know all hell's gonna break loose. But if he happens to lose due to Roman Reigns, that's how you set up The Rock and Roman Reigns for next year's WrestleMania.
You might get Rock Cody at the Rumble.
Yeah. I mean, you could get it. Yeah, you could get that Rumble, Survivor Series. Who knows? Yeah.
Yeah. Set it up and get The Rock and Roman in the Rumble, like in the actual Rumble match, not just a match versus Cody.
Right.
You could do Roman, you could do Rock Cody at Survivor Series, and then Roman returns, right?
Yeah.
And then you have, the Rumble happen. Roman gets involved going to the champion. He's the last 5, whatever it is. Here comes Rock coming at 30 and ruins Roman's chance of going to Mania, and boom.
It's gonna be a long year feud. It's gonna be a long year feud.
You're gonna spend so much just to see when that happens. But until you can't do that until you bring Cody back in. So you put Solo in the mix. Now you gotta push this for once again, like the 9 innings are done for this series. Now I want something different now between The Rock and Cody and Rock and Roman, the Bloodline.
Yeah. The biggest factors is I think in my opinion, the biggest factor is when will Roman Reigns returns, because then you get a feel of what's going to happen next, right? Exactly. Is he going to turn on The Rock? Is The Rock going to turn on him?
Everybody knows The Rock's coming back. You don't know when Roman's coming back.
Exactly.
So.
So the final topic that we have that a lot of people has been talking about as of late, we've seen it week in, we've seen it week out, whether it's an episode of Raw, whether it's an episode of SmackDown, but these QR codes, right? And one surprising thing is that no Uncle Howdy just yet, right? We didn't get an Uncle Howdy appearance yesterday at Backlash. That a lot of people I think were anticipating, but no, we haven't gotten that yet. But I just kind of want to talk brief about Uncle Howdy and the rumored faction that will be debuting pretty soon. So for those who aren't familiar, Bray Wyatt wanted to run a faction by the name of Wyatt 6, but then he fell ill and sadly passed away.
Yeah.
And now it seems like his brother, who plays the part of Uncle Howdy, will be doing that to honor Bray's legacy, right? Now, we've seen different QR codes. I'm not going to go over all of them, but I'm going to go over 1 or 2 of them. There was a QR code, right? And in that QR code, it had these numbers and letters, which is all in caps, UEDNJ51A, right? Now, a lot of people, were wondering what they were. There was this Twitter user by the name of Enforcer Chris _ who kind of may be onto something, right? And the U is Uncle Howdy. The E, Eric Rowan, who recently signed a contract with WWE.
Yep, that's
The
just announced.
Yep, the D as in Dexter Loomis, the N as in Nikki Cross, the J as in Joe Gacy, the 5-1,
which Joe Gacy recently said, "Where am I?" as a tweet.
He said, "Where am I?" as a tweet, and then you have the 5-1, which 5 + 1 is 6 for the wide 6, and then the A for Alexa Bliss. So it seems like that's the route that they're going with. We haven't seen Loomis for some time because I think he was injured and he was also filming something, right? Joe Gacy, we've seen sporadically at NXT with this, new character, but the whole tweet where he says, "Where am I?" just kind of fuels what the speculations are. Cross playing this insane character. We haven't seen her for a while, but maybe it's time to, make her return. Bo Dallas would obviously lead the group, right, in order to honor Bray's legacy. I'm surprised Braun Strowman, recently returned Braun Strowman, isn't part of the group. I think he would be a perfect fit as well, since
maybe down the line.
Yeah. But even per PW Insider, the QR codes on WWE programming are leading to a new group that will play off the Bray Wyatt intellectual property. The group consists of, so they named some: Bo Dallas, Nikki Cross, Eric Rowan, Dexter Loomis, and Joe Gacy. They didn't list Alexa Bliss, but our opinion is that she will somehow, some way make be involved in that group in some capacity down the line. She's also been away due to pregnancy, so we'll see her soon. But what do you guys think about this newly rumored faction?
The WWE's version of the Sinister Six. It's only a matter of time. What was that dumbass fucking group that came out during COVID? That was Mustafa Ali's faction. That was like all this
Retribution.
Like, the greatest faction of all time. It was a complete flop.
Retribution.
Yeah. No, give it time. Let it actually happen, and then we can enjoy. They WWE gassed that entire thing, and the fans, this is gonna be a great fucking faction. Like, you never got to see Retribution.
Well, remember, that was more Vince than anything. But
it doesn't matter. It's still the company did it. The fans fell into it, and they gassed it the fuck out of everything.
I don't think that's not going to happen with this thing, because
Bo
Dallas is a genius too. Just
when it happens, it happens. So let it when it finally kicks and they get the introductions in, then we'll decide.
It's going to happen soon.
Was fucking fighting nonstop, and then who's this? Who's that? And then it came out. Oh, okay. I did nothing with it. Let them actually reveal themselves so we get that, and then go from there. If Marvel taught us anything, is good things come with organic growth, and WWE's taken that idea, and with the blueprints for everything has been fantastic. Triple H has not missed on anything yet. He might be 100. He might be like 50 for 50 right now on moves made. That's complete success. Yeah. So let him build, and when it comes out, we'll enjoy it from there.
Yeah. And all the members that I mentioned, they all make sense. I'm looking at this tweet right on Twitter from user Bruno Radke 6, right, and it makes a lot of sense, right? It says if he writes, if PW Insider is right, it makes you sense if you think about it, right? Dexter Loomis was abandoned and forgotten by the Way. Remember, he was a member of the Way, regardless how crazy he was, right?
Yeah.
Nikki Cross lost her faction when she was with Sanity. Mm-hmm. So she lost her family there. Joe Gacy lost his faction with the Schism. Right? And then Rowan lost the Wyatt family. So, and then one of the things that the QR codes keeps repeating and saying is they were broken. He opened his arms.
Yeah.
So I think we're getting I think we're getting something really special here, and I can't wait to see the way. I think I'm more concentrated with Uncle Howdy and Bo Dallas's performance, because this is all to honor his brother's legacy, and this is Bo Dallas's time now. This is but over the years, it's been like his booking has been inconsistent, right? When it was the whole Believe, and then the whole teaming with Curtis Axel, and now that he finally found something, right, to honor his brother and his legacy, this is gonna work out.
God damn it, Vince. God damn you for that fucking Believe.
How far? Every one of them. I use the term maybe used not lately. It's a great term, but every just like Marvel, right? Every villain crashed out of their own stories and became who they were. Everybody involved with the Y6 had crashed out at some point. Eric Rowan, due to tragedy. Bo Dallas, tragedy. Nikki Cross, psychopath. Alexa Bliss, psychopath. Dexter Loomis, psychopath. Joe Gacy, just outcasted, ostracized.
Yeah.
And so you have created reasons for people to be heels. What's your reason to be this? We all have the running joke, like why was John Cena John Cena? Like John Cena become because he was so over by the fans. He was so much a face because of it. Austin was such an anti-hero. He was a heel that ended up being a face because he was so against authority. Everybody has their reasons to be who they are. And now you have these 6 characters here, these wrestlers here, who have reasons to now be who they are. So you have organic reasons to embrace everything they're about.
Yeah.
So
And
that's why people can get behind that and now enjoy.
Yeah. And real quick before I turn it over, the fact that these people that we just mentioned, these members that we just mentioned, like either they had some ties to Bray Wyatt or they were compared to Bray Wyatt, right?
Mhm.
Obviously, Uncle Howdy being Bo Dallas, brother of Bray Wyatt, Eric Rowan with the Wyatt family, right? Joe Gacy was often compared to Bray Wyatt because of his characteristics. Nikki Cross had a slight interaction with Bray Wyatt when Bray Wyatt was using Alexa Bliss, right? And then Dexter Loomis, which fits in with what they're trying to create. So I'm looking forward to this, and I can't wait for their debut, which it could happen by I would say by the end of this month.
Probably.
When it happens, it happens. The fact that like there's been rumblings about it, but there's no confirmation is perfect. So when it pops up, it finally does. Rather than factions in the past where it's like, oh, incoming, and you knew it was gonna what it was, and everybody gasses it, everybody loves it, and when it happens, like, oh, this is what we have. This is what you had it. This is what you pushed for so long to be what? Let things happen out of nowhere, and then boom. We know it's gonna happen. We don't know when. Same thing with the Bloodline storyline. We knew shit was gonna happen. Nobody knew when the turns were gonna be, when the alliances were gonna happen. And then when it did, it was absolute cinema.
And that's crazy because now like WWE has two top storylines that they could just stretch for a long
however they want. And they
they have the Bloodline and then they have the White Six.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's so strong that you'll never know until it actually happens. Like, oh shit. Oh, this happened. Oh, that happened. And now you look back, wow, this was very well calculated. With Triple H has done a fantastic job doing so. So it's like,
yeah. I mean,
let them cook. Let them.
This is a big W for them, considering all the injuries that's going on. With Seth Rollins, Rhea Ripley, Dominic Mysterio, right? These are two top topics that that should carry them.
By the way, my bad for cutting you off. Seth Rollins is re-signed long term with high financial incentives in his contract.
Yeah, there's no surprise. There was no doubt in my mind Seth Rollins was resigning. There was no way he was leaving.
No.
I just want to put that out there. Like, speaking of Seth, like, is more
considering how Triple H, loves, him, and also the comments of The Rock saying that he was the MVP for WrestleMania weekend. Like, there was no way.
You see the injury that happened when he got hurt. Like when he was supposed to go out, supposed to hit. I forgot who it was, but then Roman turned. Oh, he's supposed to hit The Rock.
The Rock
Roman turned when he fell, and the leg was just like,
yeah.
Oh, it was. I saw that. I was like, oh, and he actually still powered through that match and finished the scenes that he had to finish. So I was like, oh, that he is the definition of a true workhorse.
Yeah.
Like, how bad was that knee before that even happened? How bad was that? Was that surgery meant to like hold him off? Was to heal him, or was surgery meant to just get him by and hold on until it was finally get full? He's getting full reconstruction. It's over now. Like, he'll be out for a while. But when he does come back, it's nothing but warm welcomes and standing ovations for him.
Yeah.
It'll be fantastic. But unlike him, our return will be momentarily. This will conclude today's episode of the Sunset Flip Wrestling Podcast. We appreciate you guys on Twitter tuning in week in and week out. Everybody on YouTube, everybody on Twitch, everybody on Instagram who's tuned in. You guys who have watched this here can now know where to get all your information, your updates, and everything going forward. You can follow us on all those sites, including Facebook. We have a Discord as well. You have an email. You can just hit us up whenever, however, in whatever way is possible. We also have a Twitch. We also have a TikTok. Check us out there. If you can't watch us live, you can watch the recurring episodes on our pages, mostly on YouTube. You can get clips on TikTok. If you want to listen to us, you can check us on Apple, Spotify, and Google Podcasts, Radio Public, Pocket Cast. I can just go on and on and on. Henry hit a new parlay 2 weeks ago for 150 large, so he's paying for our flights to go to California to be a Westwood One Radio.
Yeah,
so
I wish.
Well, I'll have my dream of sharing a radio booth with Bub Ray Dudley, Dave LaGreca, and Mark Henry. We all could team up and join Busted Open Radio.
Parlays are cold as hell, but anyways.
But yeah, man, it was just tune in, enjoy, and we appreciate you guys week in, week out for showing us love.
We definitely do.
So, from me, from Soto, welcome back, Soto, from Henry. If you guys want to join us in the podcast world, you can do so with an app formerly known as I forgot to say we're so far ahead of it. Was known as Anchor, and now it's called the Podcasters app. Collab with Spotify. All you need is your email. It's free and easy, just like with our podcast here with Henry with Senpai Says. You too can now start your own podcast as well. If you want to have small nominations to promote your podcast or record and save your live viewings, you can use Zoom and or StreamYard. We use StreamYard. We promote whatever we can, and that's how we get our info to you, our shows to you. So from all of us, and by the way, if we don't get on as soon as we can, we want to show all love to everybody with their mothers, grandmothers, aunts, best friends with kids. Happy Mother's Day is coming. Mother's coming soon. Wish everybody happy Mother's Day.
Mm-hmm.
We also want to give love to Henry. Little man is growing up very fast. We got a birthday coming up, so we want to show a little love to your son. Happy birthday.
Appreciate that. So
I want to give that out there as well. But yeah, Knicks in the second round. Let's go Knicks. Until then, see you next week.
Yeah, no, we real quick, we appreciate all the listeners. We also appreciate it if you like and subscribe. Tell us what you want to see more from us. What kind of content you want us to post. On TikTok, I started a new trend where I kind of post what happens like this year in wrestling. Yeah, on this day in wrestling. So, and then we'll as we go, we'll create different content for you guys. So, let us know what you guys want to see, and we'll make it happen.
Yeah, do it for the kids.
Do the TikTok.
So, until next time, y'all.